Hey everyone, welcome back to Unlocking the Paradigm Portal. I am your host, Sarah, and I hope everybody is having a beautiful morning. I know I'm sitting here drinking some coffee and watching the snow come down and wondering if I'm going to be able to make it to work today, as I have not put snow tires on my car yet. And I've been thinking about the conversations in the past week, as I always do, and I couldn't seem to get a solid grasp on one thing that had been an overarching theme because there's been just so many. And I've had so many incredible conversations this week with really, really cool, insightful people. So I decided to sit down, grab a deck of cards. And as a side note, I know I've had some feedback from some people that the cards are not their thing, and that's okay. They don't have to be, you don't have to understand them. And I use them to just kind of help me gain some focus and see what kind of inspiration comes out of it. So no pressure on understanding it. And I don't use them for this at least as any kind of mystical, magical, anything. It's just giving me something to talk about. And the one that came out today that I feel like it really is perfect is called the Hanged Man. So anybody who knows tarot will know this card. And leave the tarot part out of it. For anyone that bothers, just leave it out because the purpose behind the card is seeing things from a different perspective. And if you don't know what it looks like, you can Google it. And the deck that I'm using is the Sun and Moon Tarot. It's just really pretty simple images. But in this card, there's this tree with some leaves. So, new growth, new beginnings. And the person is hanging suspended by one ankle in kind of a tree pose, if you know yoga, with like palms together. And so they're hung by this one ankle so they could get out at any time. And the thing I like about this one is that what's holding them by their ankle is an ankh. And the ankh is a symbol that has been near and dear to me forever. And I actually have it tattooed on me. And it's the key to life. It's an Egyptian symbol. That's another one you can Google another day. But this is all about this person just hanging there suspended intentionally in order to kind of surrender to their thoughts, to possibilities, and to seeing things from this very different perspective in order to have transformation about letting go. So it is perfectly in line with everything I've been talking about. And the fact that I couldn't see anything clearly of what I wanted to talk about, and this is the card that came out. I don't believe in coincidences. It's kind of perfect. So to give you a little bit more context, this card represents pausing. And I love to say to people that there is power in the pause. If you're having a conversation, and I know I've said this in the past, if you're in a conversation, in a conflict, if you're struggling to make a decision, pause. There's rarely anything, unless it's a literal emergency that needs to be done immediately. Just allow yourself to pause, collect your thoughts, let it simmer, and then piece it together. And we don't usually do that. There's like this, I know I've struggled with this a lot, this sense of urgency, like it has to be done right now. But does it? Or do you just feel like that? And then this would go back to the last episode with fear versus danger. Does it feel dangerous if it doesn't get done right now? Like it has to happen or something is going to hemorrhage out? Probably not, but it feels that way. So this card is all about allowing yourself to pause and see things from like a radically new angle. And as I've had conversations all week, and they really have been pretty fantastic. I keep getting this image of like a ball, and I've used this reference with people in conversation in the last couple of weeks. Like there's a ball or a sphere, I'd rather say a sphere, and you're looking at it from one side. So that's all you can see. That's the only perspective you had. But what if you were able to suspend that perception and see it from the opposite side? And sorry if you can hear snowplows going past right now. Distracts me very much. I'm very auditorily distracted. So what if you were able to see from both sides of that sphere? And it doesn't change the sphere. It just gives you a more expansive view of the circumference of it and what the inverse, I guess, of what you were seeing. And that's what this is, like just looking at things from a different angle. We can only see things through our own perspective based upon our own experiences. And that is not the only way to see things. People get very stuck in this. And this is where a lot of conflict in relationships, and I don't just mean like romantic ones, but family dynamics. I mean, look at the world right now. Everybody is arguing about everything, and nobody is stopping to go, my view is my view, and I feel that it is right for me. And I want to hear yours to get your view. It doesn't mean you have to agree. Like, can't we all just get along and see things a little bit differently? If for no other reason than to become more resolute in your own stance. This is kind of bouncing all over, but it's morning and I don't care. So the other parts to this Hanged Man card is willingly hanging between two different worlds to get more insight, which is literally what I was just saying, and getting clarity that you can't get by trying to force something or logic your way out of it. Sometimes you need the best path, and the only path is to take a step back instead of trying to force action. So yeah. Oh, okay. I love seeing how things come together. So some of the big interpretations with this, as I've already said, is letting go, getting a new perspective. You might feel like you're in a state of limbo or on hold, and it could be kind of uncomfortable, actually extremely uncomfortable if you're used to taking action, but maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to just be on hold to see things with new eyes. And with that, you can, I don't know, I'm going to challenge you. Like, what is something that you've been trying to force through or push through or felt stuck in? And how can you take a step back and see it with new eyes to see what are you missing by clinging so hard to your old viewpoint? And if you allow yourself to see that, are you able then to kind of surrender and find acceptance instead of forcing and controlling and exerting power over something to release, let go, soften, and accept that if you're having to put that much force into it, maybe it's not meant for you. And that's okay, because maybe there's something even better. You could also see this as just expanding within yourself by expanding your perception of things. I mean, some may call it a spiritual awakening. I would say just use, like, refer to it as an awakening in general to yourself, your patterns, your belief systems. Do they still align for you? Who are you now? I have so many people I know that are hitting what society would call a midlife crisis or a midlife identity shift. And I will tell you, if that's happening, you are exactly where you need to be right now. And that, my friends, is what an awakening is. It's becoming aware of who you are, why you are the way you are, what you believe, why you believe it, and allowing yourself to evaluate, is this still me? Some of it might be, some of it might not be. But it's that shift from being on autopilot and doing what you've always done because that's what you've always done and that's who you've always known yourself to be, and letting yourself out of that freaking box to become whomever the hell you want to be and make your own choices based on what feels right for you. And now I'm veering into the box, which, okay, this is another image that has come up in the last week, and it's been very, very cool. I was in a session recently. I'm getting very excited about this. I was in a session recently, and for those who don't know me, I'm a massage therapist. I practice craniosacral therapy. I do somatic breath work, like all nervous system regulation to bring you into or to work with you to learn to understand that state of calm, soothing in your own body, in your mind. And I do integrative attachment style coaching also with people, which is why I get so heavily into all the patterns and everything. So I was in a session and we were chatting away, and I was just kind of this person on my table was just kind of pouring out all these things that were coming up as I was working on their body and identifying the patterns in the stuck places and things. And all of a sudden, I got this image of two bird cages, like really beautiful gilded bird cages. And both of them, the doors were open, and both of them had a bird in it. And one of them, the bird turned, saw this open door, and was like, yes, and flew out. And the other one, the bird walked up to the door, was peeking out, and quickly ducked right back in. And I feel that's very indicative of this challenge that I really feel everybody has of, you grow up a certain way, you find beliefs about yourself, you're told beliefs about yourself. Usually we're told who we are and we just absorb that, and that becomes kind of feeling like it's set in stone. And then you end up being stuck in a very small box that at some point you do outgrow, because that box was not made by you, that was made by everything around you. So I've been noticing this more and more lately with people around me, that it's like they're realizing they don't fit in the box anymore, but they're too afraid of what's outside the box because it's the unknown. So they don't leave it. They'll poke their head out and then they come right back in. And then there's those of us who are like, I almost said the big F word, forget this stupid box. Like, I am not small. I don't fit in a box. I am going to go fly free. So this has me putting that out to you. Are you in a box? Is the box open? Is the box closed? We can call it the cage if you want. Like, is the door open? Is the door closed? Does it scare you, the thought of leaving that safe space? Does it give you like nervous jitters? Do you get excited at the thought of that? Or I remember someone I knew a long time ago using the term nervous-sighted. Are you nervous and excited at the same time? Just notice that and start noticing the places that feel like you're bonking up against the box walls or the cage bars. And it's okay if that works for you. It's okay if you're more comfortable staying in that place. That's all right. And if you're not, it's okay to redefine those boundaries and those limits and to step outside of what you've expected for yourself or others have expected for yourself. And there's something about the next couple of months. I can feel it. And I've had that song looping in my head since August. Phil Collins, In the Air. It has been looping and looping in my head. And I can still feel it. There is something in the air that, and I've been telling people, and maybe I've said this before, we're heading toward this moment, and I can't really describe it any better than this. I feel like people are either going to be the popcorn kernels that just explode and grow and expand beautifully, or they're heading into what I'm calling the great shattering. And it's that fear of the unknown, fear of the change, reverting back to the old, even if you've outgrown it. And I keep getting this image of like getting shoved toward a cliff and digging your heels in, like, no, 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 no. But then at some point, it's like the universe shoves you off the cliff and you either fly or you topple end over end. And that's going to be the great shattering. And I will tell you, it's already started. Like, I had my own great shattering a couple of times already in the past month. I really thought I'd be a popcorn kernel. I'm pretty self-aware, but nope, didn't see some of that stuff coming. So if you feel that change coming, and if you've now got Phil Collins in the air stuck in your head, you're welcome. Just look around and notice, where are some places where you feel restricted and it feels like you're bunking up against hard edges. And is it something that you can move out of, let go of, shift directions? whether you want to or not. And if you don't, that's okay. Just notice it, because at some point you might revisit it and be like, ooh, now it's time. And if you're ready for a big shift, I don't know what I'm going to talk about probably tomorrow, but it'll be more about that, because there is something coming in the air tonight. And we're not at the drum solo yet, but we are almost there. So I'm going to start making these a lot shorter, because I get totally off track and lose sight of where I'm going. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit more focused. So until next time, subscribe if you want to hear more. Like it if this resonates with you. Send me some comments like, geez, I want some feedback. And share it with anybody who you think might be interested, or who might need to hear some of the messages. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day.